Hey guys! So let me apologize, I'm not really that active that much anymore. I have school and then the holidays came and then I'm gonna go back to school. But I feel like I kind of want to talk about what happened to me in December. I had surgery done on my face and I just want to give you guys a brief overview of what that was like and the healing process and everything like that. When I was younger, I played basketball and I played softball. When I played basketball, I got hit in the face probably twice, 3 times, and my nose never broke. However, it did knock my nose off center. So my nose used to be that it came to this side, and actually in a lot of videos where I'm just, straight on the camera, you can sort of see that my nose goes this way. It got to the point where I could not breathe out of this nostril. The only nostril that was completely open was this one. So for a majority of my life, I was breathing out of one side of my nose. This side of my nose has compensated for the other side of my nose. But again, my nose never broke, so there was never cause to take me to a doctor. Fast forward to when I was like 16, a doctor basically looked at me and was like, "Hey, your nose is off center." And I was like, "Hey, great observation." And they were like, "Are you thinking about getting it fixed? Are you, thinking about repairing it at all?" I just have breathed out of one nostril in my living memory for my entire life, so I never really, given any thought to having to fix it. My doctor said, "You're getting to be 16 and, when you get older, you might want to consider correcting it, especially if you're considering being on camera and being a journalist or whatever." The appointment ended and I got back in the car and I started to cry. My mom was like, "Why are you crying?" And I was like, "Because it's scary." When I was 16, I had never done a surgery. I had never gone under a procedure. I had never gone under general anesthesia at that point. I was just so scared as to what could happen to me. The other part of this was when you're 16, you think a lot about your image and you think a lot about how you're presented to other people and how you look. There was a lot of image issues going on late middle school, early high school for me. So it was a combination of being scared and then, wanting to be comfortable in the body I'm in, but being told outright that like, "Hey, your nose is noticeable and you should fix it." And being told that by a professional is one thing that I didn't really think I understood at that point. I never got bullied for my nose being sideways. Nobody ever pointed it out. So fast forward to about probably gonna be a year ago now, I was considering doing the surgery because the doctor did say like you'd want to wait till your face is pretty much matured. When I was 18, somebody was like, "The time to get your nose done is now." I wanted to do it last summer. It just didn't fit into my schedule. I had work, I had travel plans, vacations, stuff like that. So over winter break, I got my nose fixed. A lot of people are like, "What does that mean?" Inside of your nose, the bridge of your nose, there's something called the septum, and the septum is the middle of your nose. It's, what partitions it, it's what keeps it in that nice tent shape. I went to a doctor and he basically explained it to me like it's a tent and it's collapsed on one side. It is fully collapsed. That's why you can't breathe out of, your left side. And I would have to get septoplasty. Septoplasty is when they go into your nose and they correct the septum. It's all internal. There's nothing external to it. There should be no bruising or anything like that, and the recovery time should be about a week to 2 weeks. Then he looked in the nostril that could breathe and said, "You're gonna need a turbinectomy." On the side of your nose, there are glands that look almost like sausages in the picture he showed me. It's really disgusting. Don't look any of this up on Google Images. On this side, where my nose was shut, they were very, very small because they expand to fit the space they've been given. Whereas on this side, it was huge. The turbines were huge. And he said, "We're gonna have to cut them down." Ugh, so gross. And especially very gross when he was like showing me a diagram of what the inside of my nose looks like and he being like, "This is what we're gonna fix, this is what we're gonna cut." I don't do well with medical stuff. Then he gave me the option to do rhinoplasty. Rhinoplasty is a nose job. They break your nose completely and they restructure it in the way you want it to look. I basically said, "I don't want to do rhinoplasty." And the doctor was like, "Yeah, most people get rhinoplasty and septoplasty," I can't say that word, septoplasty, at the same time. And I was like, I've worked really hard for really long to accept what I look like and accept that I'm beautiful in my own skin with my own face. I've grown up with my face looking like this, and I'm so used to what this looks like. If something goes wrong with that and I just don't like how I look, I'm gonna have to live with it for the rest of my life. The doctor was very nice. He was like, yep, okay, totally understandable, don't have to do a rhinoplasty. So the day came, my surgery time was like 7:30 a.m. You know, they put me under general anesthesia. I was totally knocked out. The first day when I got home from the surgical center was the worst. I was crying. My nose hurt. You know, you never realize that, you know, right now, as you're sitting here, can you feel your nose on your face? No. And I was able to feel my nose after coming home that first day. It was extremely uncomfortable. My nose was dripping blood. It was packed with stuff. It was so disgusting. I had a white piece of gauze under my nose that was held there by this like little strip of like foam essentially that hooked around my ears, so I didn't always have to constantly like hold gauze up to it. It was miserable. I was stuck on a couch for the whole day. I couldn't eat anything because my upper jaw here was sore. You know, it's all connected. Like in there, it's you know, it's your sinuses, and then this top jaw doesn't move, but this one does. So this bottom jaw didn't hurt, and I was hungry and I wanted to eat, but my top jaw hurt so much I was living off of like applesauce and pudding. So flash forward to a week after my surgery, I go back to the doctor and he takes the packing out of my nose. Kid you not, there were 2 sheets of plastic in either side of my nose, shaped like an apple slice, this long, and at the top of the arc about this high. It was the most uncomfortable feeling. He didn't like sedate me at all. He just like pulled it out. My nose was still so tender, but I could breathe out of both nostrils. The experience of breathing out of both nostrils is insane to me. Like I said, I can't remember being able to breathe out of both nostrils in my living memory. It was so unreal, but I still couldn't taste. That was the other thing. Like, because your sinuses are so blocked up with all this stuff, you know, it prevents you from tasting things. It tasted like different textures of air. I regained my sense of taste, and now my nose is pretty much all healed. It still is a little bit tender, but definitely way less swelled. It was a hard time, but now it's insane. I feel like I can breathe clearly for the first time in like my life. And I went in there, I was scared, I'm not gonna lie. It's scary. It's a scary experience putting your entire life in somebody's hands. Like, if one thing goes wrong, you know, that's your nose forever. And I'm so thankful to my doctor and my surgeon and the anesthesiologist and the nurses and everybody there who just, you know, made that procedure go very smoothly for me, and thankfully there were no complications with it. So if you are considering getting septoplasty or a terminectomy or even a rhinoplasty, I would say do it. It's definitely an experience that changes your life. I didn't believe that when people said that to me before the surgery. Oh, it's gonna change your life. It's gonna change the way you know, look at the world, whatever. It does. It's crazy. And being able to breathe out of both nostrils is such a small thing that I feel like a lot of people take for granted, but there are people like me who can't. But I'm very happy that I did the surgery. So that was my story of my December. I hope you guys enjoyed your holidays, and I'm very excited for 2018. Me and my friend are starting a new channel. It's called Quick Fix. It's sort of like the college version of BuzzFeed. Please go check out our videos, subscribe to us. It's gonna be a great channel. I'm very excited to be working with her and all of our friends. It's gonna be great. Thank you guys for watching this, and I'll see you later. Bye!